I pledge my support as Minister of National Security to your important work, and I pledge the full support of the government of Trinidad and Tobago and all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago who line up on the side of righteousness as opposed to wrongsciousness.
Good morning, folks. This is Wayne Hay, the Watchman, on the 4th of January, 2023. And today I would like to talk about words and their meanings. And this has become necessary because in Trinidad and Tobago, the land of bacchanal and confusion, and focusing on not the substance of things, but the impression of things, there was a recent controversy where the Minister of National Security, in a public speech, used the word wrongscious as being the opposite of righteous. And immediately, well-meaning but ignorant people jumped to ridicule him, went on social media and did memes and jokes about him using a word that did not exist. But these ignorant people, and the word ignorant means not knowing, uninformed, lacking knowledge. But you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, it has a different meaning. It means hard-headed, foolish, stubborn. So I don't know what meaning you would ascribe to the word ignorant used here. But these people did not even take time out to do any simple research on the internet. The same instrument that they're using in one of its derivatives, social media, to ridicule the minister, didn't even check Google or Collins Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary or any of the other dictionaries that exist to see that the word actually exists. Not because you don't know something or don't use something doesn't mean that it does not exist or it's no good or it does not apply. And the same applies to a lot of words. For example, in Trinidad and Tobago, when somebody saying ill things about you to others, they say you're bad talking them. In Uganda, they use the word rumor mongering. Such a different word. Does it mean that rumor mongering wouldn't exist in a dictionary? Yes, it exists and it has a meaning. And bad talk, you'll find that in the Trinidad dictionary. We make up words all the time. Bacchanal is a Trinidad word, but I'm sure you'll find it in some dictionary somewhere with the meaning that we ascribe to it. We seem to think that unless we see something in our regular vocabulary, then it does not exist. How ignorant of us. And we forget that people have poetic license to make words, to make up words. And these words enter the normal lexicon. They become acceptable and accepted in society. For example, when you win something twice, they say you repeat. Pat Riley, who was the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, when they won 3 times in a row, he called it a three-peat. And he patented the word. Some people say patented. You understand? Tomato or tomato. Or the old joke. The man asks, which do you prefer? Is it prefer or is it prefer? And the other man said, I don't know, but I prefer prefer. So, we argue all the time about foolishness And rather than focus on the substance or lack of substance by what the minister is saying, you go on to something that you don't know nothing about and you didn't do any research. Because social media, especially TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, is the forest for fools. A lot of ignorance, stupidity, lack of knowledge, bigotry, racism, bias, all of that is expounded on these different formats. And then people hide in anonymity in these forums and laugh at others and don't even realize that the emperor has no clothes. And for those of you who don't know, it means that they're so stupid or so unaware or crazy that they don't even realize that they're exposing their own nakedness, their own lack of knowledge. So they're walking down the street thinking that they're wearing clothes when they are not. We have to move away from this. There are lots of words that we normally didn't use, but we use them now. Like follow. What is the opposite of follow? Don't follow? Actually, the prefix un, un, is used to say what it's not, or the opposite. So the term unfollow is now in common usage. I never used that word until I saw it in social media. And then I realized that there are words that we use, but we never use the opposite. Like uncouth, meaning a person is not well trained, has no proper manners. The opposite of that is couth. But nobody uses that word. So if someone in a speech says the person is being couth, somebody will laugh at them and say they don't know what they're talking about. And it's stupid. But it's not. They are the stupid ones. Now, of course, there are examples where people use normal and known words and mispronounce it, and then you could laugh at them. If you recall, in one of my calypsos, I sang about the minister, not just a minister, the minister of education, who saw the word paradigm in a speech that obviously he did not write for himself, and he pronounced it as paradigm. And that is worthy of a laugh. And to laugh at him, because this is the Minister of Education. And the word paradigm is spelled differently to how it's pronounced. But he did not know that. But in this case, where the minister is using a word that is the opposite of what we normally say, and then we don't say a person is, we say unrighteous, which is also correct. You understand? But there are so many things that we use daily and we don't even realize that we made it up ourselves. Like stoops. And you'll find the spelling of stoops now, if you use it sufficiently on your social media, on your WhatsApp. Every time you try to use the word stoops, it'll come up with the spelling that you gave it. But stoops doesn't exist in the language. That sucking of the teeth song that we make. Again, in Uganda and other countries in East Africa, they say it's jeering. Why are you jeering me? Hey, when I heard that, I didn't understand. I just stoops. There are so many words that were made and created, and for example, we have to also give some recognition to the Rastafarian in our society who created words. Forward ever, backward never. I man forward. And they use terms and terminologies that we normally don't use, except when it becomes part of the mainstream culture through music or movies, and then we jump on the bandwagon then. So, the bottom line is, let us not laugh at people and be too quick to jump on bandwagons. We have to unjump. Hey, laugh at me now. And we have to understand that the dictionaries in the world are changing daily. Every year, hundreds of words are added. Because as society changes, things change with it. So for all of you laughing at the minister and making commentary, I want you all to apologize, at least this time. If he talks some nonsense, bang him. That's what you're supposed to do as citizens of the country. If you feel that is the correct thing to do, no problem with that. But this is the wrong words, the wrong time. And it shows your ignorance. It makes me wonder whether this is just not a personal hatred for the individual and not for what they say or do. Thank you, folks. Oh, let me make up some words now. Oh, nah. That's a Trinidad word. And generally it may mean nah for no. But it also means like, yes, let me go ahead and do it. So, you see? So laugh at me again. I don't mind.